Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
Hip is to know is the form of intelligence. To be hip is to be update and relevant. Hop is a form of music and knowledge. Observe. You cannot just observe a hop. You got to hop up and do it. We have been together for 13 years. We're one of the few bands in the country who have not split and not broken up. And touch wood that we have to be there. Dissing is something when you have personal grudges with someone. Right now, what has been plaguing the hip hop scene is like just for to get views and stuff like that. People are doing that, and it's become like a easy route. So, to be honest, I am really inspired by Chester Bennington from my classes to how I perform on stage. And there used to be a time when I used to color my hair like Chester Bennington, have tattoos and piercings and stuff like that. So I was really inspired by Chester Bennington. He was my idol. And when he passed away, I cried like a baby.
As we gear up for the season 2 of India's most popular hip-hop show, MTV Hustle, the mentor for the season, rapper EPR had a candid chat with India Forums about the show and hip-hop culture in India. How has everything been after Hustle? Like we all heard your journey and saw the Hustle journey, but what have you been doing after that, and did being part of the show impact your future endeavors?
The journey after Hustle has been really special for me because Hustle gave me a platform to speak and a platform to be myself, where I took hip hop as a tool, empower people to talk about social issues and to be myself. So after that, what happened after my performances got aired and everything, the journey was really special because I dropped my first solo album, Protest Poetry. And through Hustle, I found a lot of people who got interested in the art form and to understand that hip hop is also a very important element of hip hop is to talk about the issues that are going around in the country. So that helped, popularize my art form. And the journey has been really special for me, and I'm always grateful for the platform that was provided to me by MTV Hustle. Yes.
As we saw in the show earlier, you always came up with raps which centered on social issues and sensitive topics. So what's your thought process regarding that, and do you continue to go with that style?
Yeah, so as a musician, as a lyricist or a poet myself, I do try out different things and try out to venture into different pathways, I would say. I've done a lot of reggae music. I've experimented with a lot of rock music and also different themes, be it lighter themes and stuff like that. But protest poetry is something that I do because I come from this background where I really believe that hip hop can make a change in our country and empower the people. So which is what I stand for. Also, the fact is that protest poetry is something that I will always keep on doing, but that doesn't stop me from, trying out different art forms. The second album that I'm really working on will have me, trying out multiple genres and also different lyrical themes.
Are you going to take your brand Underground Authority to any new levels, or if he has any plans?
Oh, the band has been great. I mean, we have been together for 13 years. We're one of the few bands in the country who have not split and not broken up. And, touch wood that we have to be there together. But yeah, so we are coming up with our third album this year. We are really working hard towards it. And yes, we've been touring for a lot of time. We had 3 or 4 successful tours, 7-city, 8-city tours. And there's something about the band that I really love doing. Also, that I'm a part of the hip hop scene, but really I'm also a part of the rock scene of the country as well. And I love performing with my band. And yeah, I just wanted to keep on going. Yeah.
What is the significance of this culture in hip hop, and how much should it be entertained?
Like battle rap, I won't call it diss. Battle rap is a sport. Like every sport, like boxing, rap is also very competitive. But then again, if it's in the spirit of competitiveness, if it's organized properly, then it's nice. Dissing is something when you have personal grudges with someone. Right now, what has been plaguing the hip hop scene is like just for to get views and stuff like that. People are doing that, and it's become like a easy route. So I feel that is really degrading for the scene. And I think artists should really focus on their music and not diss people just to get views and stuff.
What scope does hip hop have in this newfound generation of indie musicians?
Well, independent musicians, and hip hop, because a lot of people when they do hip hop music, they start from nothing. They start from scratch. They firstly what they know is just to rap, all right. And slowly, when they progress, they get to learn about music. They get to learn about music production. Also, produce their own videos. So I believe that hip hop and indie music and indie musicians, they go together, because independent musicians are not backed by big labels or stuff like that. They are also trying out a new sound and everything. So I believe they are coexisting, and I believe we have already heard a lot of collabs with indie musicians and hip hop artists in this country. So I think they both get along really nicely.
You're a massive fan of Chester Bennington, and you kind of look like him as well. So have you considered rock as your main voice?
So, to be honest, I am really inspired by Chester Bennington, from my classes to how I perform on stage. And there used to be a time when I used to color my hair like Chester Bennington, have tattoos and piercings and stuff like that. So I was really inspired by Chester Bennington. He was my idol. And when he passed away, I cried like a baby. And yeah, but I come from this era where the hip hop scene was not there. I come from an era where, before Gully Boy, before everything, where you used to battle over texts on Orkut. From that era to now, this hip hop has grown a lot. Right now, we have a movie on hip hop. We have dedicated television shows on hip hop like Hustle, which is promoting talent everywhere. But before that, there was no scope. So what did I do? Since I was like a big time rock fan as well, so I made my own band. And how I survived, using rock music as also a tool. And I believe that music should not have, barriers. I mean, there are different genres, yes, but then again, I like listening to everything. Yeah, of course, I have a career in rock music as well, and I also have a career in hip hop music, and hip hop and rock have been collaborating for years. Whenever, the biggest example that I would think about is Linkin Park and Jay-Z. They have made a very successful album together. It's one of the most favorite albums that I have ever heard. And yeah, I think rock and hip hop can coexist.
So you didn't win the show, and now you will hear mentoring the contestants. So how much significance you think winning a show carries, because at the end there's only one winner?
Winning and losing is something that you need to let it go. That's the judge will decide. That's something that the judge will decide, or whoever's in the position to decide will decide. And an art form is very subjective. One person can like your song, the other cannot like your song. It's very subjective. But in a sport, both winning and losing are a part of the game. I did not win, but then again, what I did was to survive every round, and I kept on going till 10 weeks, and I also stood out over there. So my thing was, I took the platform as a challenge for myself, because I needed to be on every episode, and I pushed myself so that if I get another episode, I would be able to talk about a new issue every time, and that will in turn inspire other rappers to talk about social issues. Because what we see in mainstream hip hop is like, hip hop has been just stereotyped that you have to talk about girls or cars or flex your money and stuff like that. And it's okay if you have such a lifestyle, you can flex about it. But what if you do not have that lifestyle, but you're still flexing about it? I mean, like if I'm growing up as a kid, and I'm listening to West Coast hip hop music, and I'm going Compton when I'm in Chanditala Lane. That doesn't, and if I start rapping about the same thing, that makes no sense, because neither have I held a gun, or so if I talk about 9mm and stuff, it's very fake. So I wanted, like, when I got inspired, it was to bring out myself, right? So I was doing the same thing so that people get inspired, that it's really okay to talk about what you see and who you are. If you're going to a pawn shop, or if you're going to chilling in a tapri or something like that, having a 5 rupees kacha, it's okay, because that is hip hop, that is you. I mean, like, you technically do not have to rap about a Lamborghini and stuff like that to be hip hop. I mean, as the legend KRS-One really said, hip is to know is the form of intelligence. To be hip is to be update and relevant. Hop is a form of music and knowledge. Observe. You cannot just observe a hop. You got to hop up and do it. So yeah, that sums it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for joining us. For more updates, follow India Forums. Bollywood reporter Divya Shah with camera person Babaji, India Forums, Mumbai.